Willkommen in Deutschland. Welcome to Germany, a land where fairy tale castles meet buzzing cities, where gardens sit beside ancient cathedrals, and every cobblestone has a story to tell. We'll explore the heart of Europe, from the historic streets of Berlin to the romantic rivers of the Rhine. Let's go! The concept of Germany as a distinct region in Central Europe can be traced to Julius Caesar, who referred to the unconquered area east of the Rhine as Germania, thus distinguishing it from Gaul. The victory of the Germanic tribes in the Battle of the Teutoburg Forest, AD 9, prevented annexation by the Roman Empire, although the Roman provinces of Germania Superior and Germania Inferior were established along the Rhine. Following the fall of the Western Roman Empire, the Franks conquered the other West Germanic tribes. When the Frankish Empire was divided among Charles the Great's heirs in 843, the eastern part became East Francia and later Kingdom of Germany. In 962, Otto I became the first Holy Roman Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire, the medieval German state. During the High Middle Ages, the Hanseatic League, dominated by German port cities, established itself along the Baltic and North Seas. The growth of a crusading element within German Christendom led to the state of the Teutonic Order along the Baltic coast in what would later become Prussia. In the investiture controversy, the German emperors resisted Catholic Church authority. In the late Middle Ages, the regional dukes, princes, and bishops gained power at the expense of the emperors. Martin Luther led the Protestant Reformation within the Catholic Church after 1517, as the northern and eastern states became Protestant, while most of the southern and western states remained Catholic. The 30 Years' War, a civil war from 1618 to 1648, brought tremendous destruction to the Holy Roman Empire. The estates of the empire attained great autonomy in the Peace of Westphalia, the most important being Austria, Prussia, Bavaria, and Saxony. With the Napoleonic Wars, feudalism fell away and the Holy Roman Empire was dissolved in 1806. Napoleon established the Confederation of the Rhine as a German puppet state, but after the French defeat, the German Confederation was established under Austrian presidency. The German revolutions of 1848 to 1849 failed, but the Industrial Revolution modernized the German economy, leading to rapid urban growth and the emergence of the socialist movement. Prussia, with its capital Berlin, grew in power. German universities became world-class centers for science and humanities, while music and art flourished. The unification of Germany was achieved under the leadership of the Chancellor Otto von Bismarck with the formation of the German Empire in 1871. The new Reichstag, an elected parliament, had only a limited role in the imperial government. Germany joined the other powers in colonial expansion in Africa and the Pacific. By 1900, Germany was the dominant power on the European continent, and its rapidly expanding industry had surpassed Britain's while provoking it in a naval arms race. Germany led the Central Powers in World War I, but was defeated. We begin in the capital, Berlin, a city that's constantly reinventing itself while honoring its past. The Brandenburg Gate, once a symbol of division, now represents unity. Just nearby, you'll find the Berlin Wall's remnants, turned into a colorful art gallery of freedom. The history of Berlin starts with its foundation in the 12th century. It became the capital of the Margraviate of Brandenburg in 1237, and later of Brandenburg, Prussia, and the Kingdom of Prussia. Prussia grew about rapidly in the 18th and 19th centuries and formed the basis of the German Empire in 1871. The empire would survive until 1918 when it was defeated in World War I. After 1900, Berlin became a major world city, known for its leadership roles in science, the humanities, music, museums, higher education, government, diplomacy, and military affairs. It also had a role in manufacturing and finance. During World War II, bombing, artillery, and ferocious street-by-street fighting destroyed large parts of Berlin. Berlin was subsequently divided among the four major Allied powers, and for over 4 decades, it encapsulated the Cold War confrontation between West and East. With the reunification of Germany in 1990, Berlin was restored as the capital and as a major world city. Hamburg, Germany's gateway to the world. Its massive port and stunning Elbphilharmonie make this city feel grand and gritty all at once. Hamburg is the second largest city in Germany after Berlin and seventh largest in the European Union with a population of over 1.9 million. The Hamburg metropolitan region has a population of over 5.1 million and is the eighth largest metropolitan region by GDP in the European Union. At the southern tip of the Jutland Peninsula, Hamburg stands on the branching river Elbe at the head of a 110-kilometer, 68-mile estuary to the North Sea, on the mouth of the Ulster and Biele. Hamburg is one of Germany's three city-states alongside Berlin and Bremen and is surrounded by Schleswig-Holstein to the north and Lower Saxony to the south. The port of Hamburg is Germany's largest and Europe's third largest, after Rotterdam and Antwerp. The local dialect is a variant of Low Saxon. The official name reflects Hamburg's history as a member of the medieval Hanseatic League and a free imperial city of the Holy Roman Empire. Before the 1871 unification of Germany, it was a fully sovereign city-state, and before 1919 formed a civic republic headed constitutionally by a class of hereditary Grand Burghers or Hanseaten. Beset by disasters such as the Great Fire of Hamburg, North Sea Flood of 1962, and military conflicts, including World War II bombing raids, the city has managed to recover and emerge wealthier after each catastrophe. Major regional broadcaster NDR, the printing and publishing firm Gruner and Jahr, and the newspapers Der Spiegel and Die Zeit are based in the city. Hamburg is the seat of Germany's oldest stock exchange and the world's oldest merchant bank, Berenberg Bank. Media, commercial, logistical, and industrial firms with significant locations in the city include multinationals Airbus, Blohm & Voss, Aurubis, Beiersdorf, Lufthansa, and Unilever. Hamburg is also a major European science, research, and education hub with several universities and institutions, including the Deutsches Elektronensynchrotron Laboratory DESWE. The city enjoys a very high quality of living, being ranked 28th in the 2024 Mercer Quality of Living Survey. Hamburg hosts specialists in world economics and international law, including consular and diplomatic missions, such as the International Tribunal for the Law of the Sea, the EU LAC Foundation, and the UNESCO Institute for Lifelong Learning, mark-applied international political conferences and summits, such as Europe and China and the G20. Former German chancellors Helmut Schmidt and Angela Merkel were both born in Hamburg. The former mayor of Hamburg, Olaf Scholz, was chancellor from December 2021 until May 2025. Hamburg is a major international and domestic tourist destination. The Speicherstadt and Kontorhausviertel were declared World Heritage Sites by UNESCO in 2015. Hamburg's rivers and canals are crossed by around 2,500 bridges, making it the city with the highest number of bridges. Cologne, German, is the largest city of the German state of North Rhine-Westphalia and the fourth most populous city of Germany, with nearly 1.1 million inhabitants in the city proper and over 3.1 million people in the Cologne-Bonn urban region. Cologne is also part of the Rhine-Ruhr metropolitan region, the second biggest metropolitan region by GDP in the European Union. Centered on the left-west bank of the Rhine, Cologne is located on the River Rhine, Lower Rhine, about 35 kilometers, 22 milio, southeast of the North Rhine-Westphalia state capital, Düsseldorf, and 25 kilometers, or 16 milio, northwest of Bonn, the former capital of West Germany. The city's medieval Cologne Cathedral, Kölner Dom, was the world's tallest building from 1880 to 1890 and is today the third tallest church and tallest cathedral in the world. It was constructed to house the Shrine of the Three Kings and is a globally recognized landmark and one of the most visited sites and pilgrimage destinations in Europe. The cityscape is further shaped by the 12 Romanesque churches of Cologne. Cologne is famous for Eau de Cologne, which has been produced in the city since 1709. Cologne has since come to be a generic term. Cologne was founded and established in Germanic Ubi territory in the 1st century CE as the Roman Colonia Agrippina, hence its name. Agrippina was later dropped, except in Latin, and Colonia became the name of the city in its own right, which developed into modern German as Köln. Cologne, the French version of the city's name, has become standard in English as well. Cologne functioned as the capital of the Roman province of Germania Inferior and as the headquarters of the Roman military in the region until occupied by the Franks in 462. During the Middle Ages, the city flourished as being located on one of the most important major trade routes between Eastern and Western Europe, including the Brabant Road, Via Regia and Publica. Cologne was a free imperial city of the Holy Roman Empire and one of the major members of the trade union Hanseatic League. It was one of the largest European cities in medieval and Renaissance times. Prior to World War II, the city had undergone occupations by the French, 1794, 1815, and the British, 1918, 1926, and was part of Prussia beginning in 1815. Cologne was one of the most heavily bombed cities in Germany during World War II. The bombing reduced the population by 93%, mainly due to evacuation, and destroyed around 80% of the millennia-old city center. The post-war rebuilding has resulted in a mixed cityscape, restoring most major historic landmarks like city gates and churches, 31 of them being Romanesque. The city nowadays consists of around 25% pre-World War II buildings and boasts around 9,000 historic buildings. Cologne is a major cultural center for the Rhineland. It hosts more than 30 museums and hundreds of galleries. There are many institutions of higher education, most notably the University of Cologne, one of Europe's oldest and largest universities. The Technical University of Cologne, Germany's largest university of applied sciences, and the German Sport University Cologne. It hosts 3 Max Planck Science Institutes and is a major research hub for the aerospace industry, with the German Aerospace Center and the European Astronaut Center headquarters. Lufthansa, Europe's largest airline, have their main corporate headquarters in Cologne. It also has a significant chemical and automobile industry. Cologne-Bonn Airport is a regional hub, the main airport for the region being Düsseldorf Airport. The Cologne Trade Fair hosts a number of trade shows. Bavaria is a state in the southeast of Germany, with an area of 70,550.19 square kilometers, 27,239.58 square milliforniers. It is the largest German state by land area, comprising approximately 1/5 of the total land area of Germany, and with over 13.08 million inhabitants, it is the second most populous German state, behind only North Rhine-Westphalia. However, due to its large land area, its population density is below the German average. Major cities include Munich, its capital and largest city, which is also the 3rd largest city in Germany, Nuremberg, and Augsburg. The history of Bavaria includes its earliest settlement by Iron Age Celtic tribes, followed by the conquests of the Roman Empire in the 1st century BC, when the territory was incorporated into the provinces of Rhaetia and Noricum. It became the Duchy of Bavaria, a stem duchy, in the 6th century AD, following the collapse of the Western Roman Empire. It was later incorporated into the Holy Roman Empire, became the independent Kingdom of Bavaria after 1806, joined the Prussian-led German Empire in 1871 while retaining its title of kingdom, and finally became a state of the Federal Republic of Germany in 1949. Bavaria has a distinct culture, largely because of its Catholic heritage and conservative traditions, which includes a language, cuisine, architecture, festivals, and elements of Alpine symbolism. It also has the 2nd largest economy among the German states by GDP figures, giving it the status of a wealthy German region. Welcome to Munich, Bavaria's proud capital. At Marienplatz, history stands tall with the Glockenspiel show at the new town hall. Munich is the capital and most populous city of Bavaria, Germany. As of 30 November 2024, its population was 1,604,384, making it the 3rd largest city in Germany after Berlin and Hamburg. Munich is the largest city in Germany that is not a state of its own. It ranks as the 11th largest city in the European Union. The metropolitan area has around 3 million inhabitants, and the broader Munich metropolitan region is home to about 6.2 million people. It is the third largest metropolitan region by GDP in the European Union. Munich is located on the River Isar north of the Alps. It is the seat of the Upper Bavarian administrative region. With 4,500 people per square kilometer, Munich is Germany's most densely populated municipality. It is also the second largest city in the Bavarian dialect area after Vienna. The first record of Munich dates to 1158. The city has played an important role in Bavarian and German history. During the Reformation, it remained a Catholic stronghold. Munich became the capital of the Kingdom of Bavaria in 1806 and developed as a center for arts, architecture, culture, and science. The House of Wittelsbach ruled until 1918, when the German Revolution of 1918 to 1919 ended their reign and saw the short-lived Bavarian Soviet Republic. In the 1920s, Munich became a center of political movements, including the rise of the Nazi Party. The city was known as the capital of the movement. During World War II, Munich was heavily bombed, but much of its historic architecture has since been restored. After the war, the city's population and economy grew rapidly. Munich hosted the 1972 Summer Olympics. Munich is a major center for science, technology, finance, innovation, business, and tourism. It has a high standard of living, ranking first in Germany and third worldwide in the 2018 Mercer survey. It was named the world's most livable city by Monocle's Quality of Life Survey 2018. Munich is among the most expensive German cities for real estate and rents. In 2023, 30.1% of residents were foreigners, and 19.4% were German citizens, with a migration background from abroad. Munich's economy is based on high-tech, automobiles, the service sector, information technology, biotechnology, engineering, and electronics. Multinational companies such as BMW, Siemens, Allianz SE, and Munich Re are headquartered there. The city has 2 research universities and many scientific institutions. Munich is known for its architecture, cultural venues, sports events, exhibitions, and the annual Oktoberfest, the world's largest Volksfest. Now let's slow things down in the Black Forest. Rolling hills, thick woodlands, and the birthplace of the cuckoo clock. In ancient times, the Black Forest was known as Abnoba-Mons, after the Celtic deity Abnoba. In Roman times, late antiquity, it was given the name Silva Marciana, Marcinian forest, from the Germanic word marca, border. The Black Forest probably represented the border area of the Marcomanni, border people, who were settled east of the Roman limes. They in turn were part of the Germanic tribe of Suebi, who subsequently gave their name to the historic state of Swabia. With the exception of Roman settlements on the perimeter, e.g. the baths in Badenweiler and mines near Badenweiler and Salzburg, and the construction of the Roman road of Kinzig-Talstrasse, the colonization of the Black Forest was not carried out by the Romans, but by the Alemanni. They settled and first colonized the valleys, crossing the old settlement boundary, the so-called red sandstone border, for example, from the region of Bar. Soon afterwards, increasingly higher areas and adjacent forests were colonized, so that by the end of the 10th century, the first settlements could be found in the red Bunter sandstone region. These include, for example, Rotenbach, which was first mentioned in 819. Some of the uprisings, including the Bundschow movement, that preceded the 16th century German Peasants' War, originated in the Black Forest. Further peasant unrest, in the shape of the Saltpeter uprisings, took place over the next 2 centuries in Hotzenwald. The southern Black Forest, German Südschwarzwald, is the highest part of the Black Forest, an area heavily transformed by Ice Age glaciation south of a line roughly from Freiburg and Breisgau to Donaueschingen. The term High Black Forest is not quite identical. That usually includes the highest part of the Central Black Forest, southeast of the Elz Valley as well. The Southern Black Forest Nature Park, Naturpark Südschwarzwald, also takes in this area, extending across the whole of the High Black Forest, as well as several peripheral areas. In the east lies Dresden, a phoenix of a city that rose from World War II ashes with stunning Baroque beauty. Enclosing a Bless is the capital city of the German state of Saxony and its second most populous city after Leipzig. It is the 12th most populous city of Germany, the 4th largest by area after Berlin, Hamburg, and Cologne, and the 3rd most populous city in the area of former East Germany after Berlin and Leipzig. Dresden's urban area comprises the towns of Freital, Pirna, Radebeul, Meissen, Coswig, Rodeburg, and Heidenau, and has around 790,000 inhabitants. The Dresden metropolitan area has approximately 1.34 million inhabitants. Dresden is the second largest city on the river Elbe after Hamburg. Most of the city's population lives in the Elbe Valley, but a large, albeit very sparsely populated area of the city east of the Elbe lies in the West Lusatian hill country and uplands, the westernmost part of the Sudetes, and thus in Lusatia. Many boroughs west of the Elbe lie in the Ore Mountain foreland, as well as in the valleys of the rivers rising there and flowing through Dresden, the longest of which are the Weißeritz and the Lockwitzbach. The name of the city, as well as the names of most of its boroughs and rivers, are of Sorbian origin. Dresden has a long history as the capital and royal residence for the electors and kings of Saxony, who for centuries furnished the city with cultural and artistic splendor, and was once, by personal union, the family seat of Polish monarchs. The city was known as the Jewel Box because of its Baroque and Rococo city center. The controversial American and British bombing of Dresden towards the end of World War II killed approximately 25,000 people, most of whom were civilians, and destroyed the entire city center. After the war, restoration work has helped to reconstruct parts of the historic inner city. Since German reunification in 1990, Dresden has once again become a cultural, educational, and political center of Germany. The Dresden University of Technology, TU Dresden, is one of the 10 largest universities in Germany and part of the German Universities Excellence Initiative. The economy of Dresden and its agglomeration is one of the most dynamic in Germany and ranks first in Saxony. It is dominated by high-tech branches, often called Silicon Saxony. According to the Hamburg Institute of International Economics, HWWI, and Berenberg Bank in 2019, Dresden had the 7th best prospects for the future of all cities in Germany. Dresden is one of the most visited cities in Germany, with 4.7 million overnight stays per year. Its most prominent building is the Frauenkirche, located at the Neumarkt. Built in the 18th century, the church was destroyed during World War II. The remaining ruins were left for 50 years as a war memorial before being rebuilt between 1994 and 2005. Other famous landmarks include the Zwinger, the Semperoper, and Dresden Castle. Furthermore, the city is home to the Dresden State Art Collections, originating from the collections of the Saxon electors in the 16th century. Nearby sites include the National Park of Saxon Switzerland, the Ore Mountains in the countryside around Elbe Valley, Moritzburg Castle, and Meissen, home of Meissen porcelain. Germany is a country in Central Europe. It lies between the Baltic Sea and the North Sea to the north and the Alps to the south. Its 16 constituent states have a total population of over 84 million in an area of 357,596 kilometers square Ds, 138,069 square million, making it the most populous member state of the European Union. It borders Denmark to the north, Poland and the Czech Republic to the east, Austria and Switzerland to the south, and France, Luxembourg, Belgium, and the Netherlands to the west. The nation's capital and most populous city is Berlin, and its main financial center is Frankfurt. The largest urban area is the Ruhr. Settlement in the territory of modern Germany began in the Lower Paleolithic, with various tribes inhabiting it from the Neolithic onward, chiefly the Celts. Various Germanic tribes have inhabited the northern parts of modern Germany since classical antiquity. A region named Germania was documented before AD 100. In 962, the Kingdom of Germany formed the bulk of the Holy Roman Empire. Germany is a developed country with a strong economy. It has the largest economy in Europe by nominal GDP. As a major force in several industrial, scientific, and technological sectors, it is both the world's third largest exporter and importer. It offers social security, a universal healthcare system, and tuition-free university education. Germany is part of multiple international organizations and forums. It has the third highest number of UNESCO World Heritage Sites, 54, of which 51 are cultural. Thanks for joining me on this whirlwind tour of Germany. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tschüss. See you in the next adventure.